Hey everyone, this is Kat Von D, and you're listening to Shutter 16 magazine. Yes, this is Kat. Hi.
Hi, this is Chris with Shutter 16 magazine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for making the time.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Well, you've got a lot going on, but let's talk about the book. And when did you first have the idea of doing a children's book, and how did the project kind of come to fruition?
Yeah, obviously I'm a first-time mom over here.
Sure.
And,
Congratulations, that's
for
awesome.
Bedtime. Oh, thank you. So my son Leafar, we definitely think our bedtime routine is really important, and reading books is a part of that. And so I found myself, reading so many kids' books with my son, and I would say, over half of them were kind of garbage, to be honest. A lot of these new books, I just feel like they're just spit out really quickly without any thought, without any intention, and definitely without any art. And when I think about my childhood and reading, one of the things that I loved the most about some of the classics were the art and getting lost within the details versus just following a storyline. And so my husband was actually the one who suggested that I create a children's book just based off of the ones that I would make up off the top of my head before we would go to sleep. And I thought, how cool would it be to team up with a fine artist like Kevin Llewellyn, who I had been a huge fan of for a long time and collected a lot of his paintings, and really, really create a artfully driven book for kids. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. And I thought it would be something I could do something quite quickly, and it turns out that illustrating a child's book takes a lot of time, and it actually took us months to fully render all the pages, but very, very much worth it.
Now, how much of Leafar's character in the book is based on your own son?
Oh, I would say all of it is based on my son. Leafar was my biggest muse for this project, and what I loved so much about seeing my son grow is that, his imagination is just so beyond, and it almost gives us as adults a second chance into being a child again when you have a kid, because you're seeing things for the first time and experiencing things through their eyes. And so that's what this book is really about. Basically, as a mom, I give him this red magical treasure chest that every time he jumps into it, he comes out a different animal, and through his own imagination, he actually becomes the animal. And for example, when he turns into the bat, he starts flying through the sky with all of his little bat friends and learning fun bat facts along the way. And I see that's how Leafar is learning, is a lot is through his imagination. So that was quite important. And as far as his personality goes, we modeled all of his mannerisms and characteristics specifically off of my son.
So cool. Is he a big animal lover? Do you have any animals at home?
Oh yeah, Leafar loves animals. We have 3 cats, 5 ducks, and 3 goldfish.
So he's getting his fair share at home then. That's so cool.
Yes.
What were some of your favorite books as a child, and have you shared those with your son?
Yeah, I grew up with the classics, so I love Where the Wild Things Are, and Curious George, and Hungry Caterpillar, and so I have all those books for Leafar as well. And I think he, like I said, he loves whatever's really artfully driven. We almost make our own stories as we turn the pages. Obviously, Leafar's 4 years old, so he's not reading yet. And that's the other thing that I wanted to create, was something that, regardless of where your child's at in his reading level, you could still enjoy the book together.
Right. And that's important, because I remember from my own childhood, just leafing through the pages and just looking at the pictures and letting your imagination go, regardless of what the actual story of the book was. And so I think that was always a special part of it. What was your experience like working with Kevin and kind of collaborating together on the project?
I mean, I think the biggest challenge was just dealing with his schedule because he is nocturnal. And so, as a painter, he wakes up in the late afternoon and paints all throughout the night, whereas I have a child, so I wake up every day at around 6 in the morning. And so that was quite a challenge. But it was good because, he really helped push me outside of what I'm used to doing as a tattooer, and specializing in doing realism and portraits. I just got so accustomed to drawing things as they are. And when it comes to, animating a child's book, you want things to be animated and you want them to be exaggerated and fun. And that was a big challenge for me. And he was really helpful in pushing me to not try to make things so perfect and so realistic all the time.
Do you think that you'll take any of that and put that into your artwork as a tattoo artist and kind of change things up a little in that way?
No, I think that I think my tattooing definitely influences the kids' book, but not the other way around. And I think that's just because, it's two totally different industries in a way.
Sure. Now, as an artist, what was kind of most important to you when creating the book? And also as a mom, what was the most important to you when creating the book?
Well, I wanted to create something that was wholesome and something that is free of any kind of agenda. I wanted just to keep something that's just kind of pure and fun and whimsical and just, like I said, just triggers the imagination for a child. And, I think reading a lot of the books that are coming out nowadays, it's just not hitting the same, and I think with this book, I really wanted it to be something that was exciting every time you turn the page. And then obviously at the end, there's a heartwarming moment that mostly I think parents will understand more than the child. But yeah, I think that was important to me, is just to create something that was wholesome and innocent.
And I think it's pretty cool that the book comes with a page of temporary tattoos, because that falls into, obviously your background all the years doing tattoos and as an artist. And it's also super cool for a kid because that was one of the best things. Like if something came with stickers or the little rub-on tattoos, that was that was it. So did you always kind of think that you would incorporate that into the project, or did that idea kind of happen?
Yeah, well, as a tattooed mom, when I think about the fact that 1 out of 3 women in America have a tattoo, and that to me is something that's very relatable. And I think kids see their parents that have tattoos now, and so it's very normal for them. And a lot of times they want to be like mom and dad, and I think being able to take a little piece of Leafar with them after the book is done is so great. And we obviously designed the tattoos themselves to be very kid friendly, lots of animal silhouettes and bright colors. And there's one that's a little picture of Leafar and a heart with a banner that says mom, and one that says dad, and just very, very cute play on the sailor tattoos for kids. And I think that's something that kids can enjoy.
And will we see any more children's books in the future from you, like a Leafar series down the road?
I would love to do that. I think so far the book is being well received, and so that points us in that direction for sure.
Cool. Now, here's an important critic on the book. What does your son think of the book?
He absolutely loves it. But the funny thing is that I think when I was actually writing and illustrating the book, he had no idea what we were actually doing. He just knew the story because I would always say it to him at nighttime. And so when it finally came to fruition and it was something tangible that he could hold in his hand, I think his mind was blown, and he definitely identifies himself within the book. He knows that's him. And I think that's really cool. I can't wait to see what he thinks of it when he gets older, and understands that, wow, my mom made a kid's book about me.
I think that's so awesome. Well, we'll look forward to seeing hopefully some more children's books in the future from you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Oh, thank you.
Are you working on any music? Because we were a big fan of, your album that came out a year ago, roughly.
Thank you. Yeah. We're finishing up album number 2, actually.
Cool.
And we should be releasing that in the beginning of next year. So I'm pretty excited about that, and hopefully we'll be able to go on tour.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to ask you because we were so bummed when the tour date here in Charlotte got canceled.
I
So,
know.
I would be
I
so
know.
excited if you got, and I wasn't sure, as a mom, with all the logistics involved of going on the road and everything, if that was something you would do. So I'm kind of stoked to hear about that.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally fun. I mean, we love taking Leafar on the road. He loves being on a tour with us, so tour is very exciting for him.
Awesome. Now you've done so much,
Yeah.
in your career already. You've done our music, the book now. What's next for Kat Von D?
Yeah. Well, I'm really making music my next focus. So
Okay.
Right now we've been a little bit quiet just because we've been in the recording studio with production and finalizing all the vocals. So once this next album is out, I definitely want to make that my main focus.
Awesome. Well, we will look forward to that. The new album that'll be coming out, definitely catching you on tour, and hopefully some more children's books in the future as well. I think that's super cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We're big fans, and we're very stoked to see what else you've got coming down the road.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.